Thank you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, Pete Townshend. Did it really take you 17 years to write this book?
No. I began working on it when I was 20. I certainly had the idea that I could write an interesting book. In the 60s, music changed. I write in my book about the fact that I grew up at the knee of my father, who played saxophone in a pop band at the time, a dance band, and how much I learnt about what popular music was for. And which was for making you happy, helping you to fall in love, helping you to get over 200 years of massive world war. And that I knew that when I was 14 or 15, the function of the song had changed. It had a different purpose. It was much more serious. And that's why I've always been fairly serious about what I do. And then subsequently, in 1995, I did start a book. I got about halfway through it, and then I decided that the timing wasn't right, and I would leave it until now. And so I really started in earnest last August, and I did literally write a little bit every day, right the way through to March of this year, published this year, finished the editing this year, just before The Who played at the closing ceremony of the Olympics. So I took a breath, and then I'm here on tour with Roger doing Quadrophenia, so I've had a busy year.
Why did you write the book? It's called Who I Am. So obviously is it because you want people to understand who you are as a person, who Pete Townshend is? Is that really?
To some extent, partly because of the fact that this has always been a book that I'd wanted to write for the reasons that I've described. I wanted to write a book that would help people to understand why rock and roll happened, why it has lasted, and it will last. Pop music, the way that we have it today, will last until there is another major war. When there is a major war, pop music as we know it will be completely pointless. Right now, it's to help us actually deal with the fact that so many of the questions for us, and remember that I started writing songs for young men, really, not for the female pop audience like the Beatles and various other bands. My audience was young men, wanting to write songs that would actually help them to find a position in life and to help to grow up and to understand, to give another side of the coin to, let's say, Sylvester Stallone's point of view. Toronto's been a fantastically important city for me in my life. One of my best friends, I'm going on vacation with him this winter. Des McAnuff was a Torontonian. He was the guy that helped me get Tommy delivered to Broadway. But for The Who, it's always been an incredibly important venue. And one of the things that I've been very clear about is that my introduction to Toronto as a city, as a place, and to Canada as a country has been through rock and roll. That's the only way I know how to do it. And I know that, that we play in ice hockey rinks most of the time when we come to play in this neck of the woods. And the ice hockey is a place where young men tend to, I'll try and cover my mic, they go, "Roar!" "Roar!" So that's the sound that I'm quite used to on stage with The Who. But it's funnily enough, it's not what The Who's music is about. The Who's music is about vulnerability, about trying to find ways to be a man in a time when it's quite difficult to be a man. So, in a sense, writing the book for me was just to talk about where that journey is, where I've ended up. And it's true, it's not all that easy. I did an interview with a German guy from Der Spiegel the other day, and he said, "I have just read Rod Stewart's book. This is a good book. He is happy, he is handsome, he still has his hair. He is married to a very beautiful blonde. He has had sex with many, many, many blondes, some of whom I should probably think would be German. And then there is your book." "Why?" I said, "What do you mean, why?" Just, "No, why?" Because my book is not that rock and roll journey. It's a hard read, and so bits of it are hard read. There are some funny stories, a couple. But the point of it for me was to actually show that, yes, I've been through all this stuff and I have all these theories, and some of them are cod theories. They may not be, that you may not share them. You may not feel the same way about music as I do or about the world as I do. But where I've ended up is I'm happy and I'm healthy and I'm alive. And that's a miracle.
Now, I read the book and I listened to the audiobook, which you read yourself. And I found that absolutely fascinating because I heard two different books. Did you have any new insights on what you had written, having read it word for word out loud?
Yeah, I did. I thought, oh my God. I'm not saying Canadians don't get irony, because I know that they do. But I would say that certain parts of the American audience, and certainly the Germans, do not get irony. No, I don't mean to be racist here. You know, I've done a few German blondes as well.
Well, thank you for taking the time. You got a lot of people here that want to meet you. I really appreciate the opportunity.